Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Chris Abbott, but all my friends just call me Abbo. And in this video, I'm going to be outlining for you a Facebook ad strategy that we've been using at my church that brought in over 400 new families that plan to visit in only 4 months. I know it sounds crazy, but that actually happened. And I'm going to outline for you exactly the strategy that we've used there and that I've helped churches all over the country do as well. So you can plug and play this exact same strategy for your church. So let's dive into Facebook ads that grow your church coming up. All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you are new to the channel, we are constantly putting out brand new videos every single day, 5 days a week, helping pastors and church leaders to be more effective in social media, church growth, and ultimately at reaching the next generation for Jesus. So what I wanted to do in this video is kind of outline a strategy that we've been using at my church for a while. I've actually helped a bunch of my friends utilize this at their church as well, and they started seeing similar results. So it's a pretty simple 4-part framework, and I think if you start utilizing this at your church, you'll be really surprised at just how effective it can be at attracting new Sunday morning visitors. So let's dive in. Okay, so a few years ago, I was on staff at my church and we had Easter coming up and I had a goal to double the church. Right? So I just said, okay, here it is. We got Easter. This is Super Bowl Sunday of the church world. And so I want to double the amount of people that we would normally have on an average Sunday. So what I did is actually put together a strategy and said, okay, so I think if we use Facebook and Instagram ads to send people from Facebook to a custom landing page on our website, and then we invite people to plan a visit, I think we can absolutely change the game. And then we'll just make sure to collect everybody's information and then plug them into an extended follow-up system to get them to come back again. So I actually went to my boss and she totally turned me down, right? This is not my pastor, my boss at the time, but she said, no way, we would have to train up this plan your visit team. We'd never done plan your visit before, right? And I had like this crazy idea that I thought I could actually get people to go to our website and actually sign up and schedule an appointment to visit our church. After months of trying to convince her to do this, I finally just decided to kind of secretly launch this anyway. And I figured, well, what's the worst that could happen, right? Like either it'll work and I'll look like a rock star, or it'll fail miserably and nobody will ever really know. So I went to Katie, who was over all of our guest assimilation, and kind of told her my crazy idea. Hey, I think we can get people to actually sign up and schedule an appointment to visit our church on Easter Sunday, right? So she was excited. She was all in. So I went in and I handled all the tech side. I was going to build out all the Facebook ads. I was going to build out the landing page, right? And all the tech on Plan Your Visit. And I'd set it to send notifications to her whenever someone signed up for Plan Your Visit, right? And then that way she could follow up. She could call them. She could assign a friendly host to meet them at the front door on Easter Sunday and kind of show them around, help them get their kids checked into kids church, that type of stuff. And then she would handle all of the guest assimilation from there. So basically we would be two sides of the same coin. I would handle all of the tech on one side and she would handle the actual human experience on the other side. So we launched it a couple weeks out from Easter and held our breath, hoping that this would actually work. So on the Monday morning before Easter Sunday, Katie comes running into my office and says, oh my gosh, turn the Facebook ads off, turn the ads off, right? We have way too many people signing up for Plan Your Visit, which I was delighted to hear, by the way, but I was excited. She said, no, here's the problem. We've now had over 60 people that have signed up for Plan Your Visit, and I have run out of Plan Your Visit hosts. We have to take everything off the website. I don't know how many Plan Your Visits we would have ended up with, well over 100, because one of the things that I've seen is in the last couple of days leading up to an event like that, you typically double the amount of Plan Your Visits. So who knows, 100, maybe 200, I don't know. But because we had to take it off the website because we didn't have enough hosts to host everybody that were signing up. But I knew based on the amount of traffic that we were getting that we were gonna have a really, really big Sunday. So I even pulled aside all of the kids workers. I said, hey, listen, you guys are gonna wanna figure out kids registration. I recommend having some iPads or something, because I'm telling you, based on the numbers that I'm seeing on the back end of Facebook, I think it's gonna be huge. And I think we're gonna have a lot of parents trying to check their kids in. To which case they basically laughed and said, Abbott, we have it handled. I said, okay, right? So Sunday morning rolls around. We maxed out our entire main sanctuary, had to close the doors. We couldn't fit any more people in there, right? Then we maxed out our overflow sanctuary, had to close the doors and couldn't fit any more people in there. Then we found out our kids building was actually 3 times over the legal limit of the amount of people we were allowed to have, right? So we had kids almost spilling out of the building, right? The fire marshal made us shut down our kids check-in, right? Because we actually had this long line of young families that went all the way through the lobby, down the hall and out into the parking lot of all these families trying to check their kids into kids church. To which case I told all the kids workers, Told you so. Anyway, it was pretty funny because there were people on staff coming up to me all day long saying, hey, Abbott, great job, but we hate you, because I made their job pretty tough. So at the end of the day, we had to tell all of these young families, hey, we're so sorry. We don't have room for you in our main sanctuary. We don't have room for you in our overflow sanctuary. And we don't have room for your kids in our kids building, right? So we ended up having on Easter Sunday, 2017, about 1,000 people who were stuck outside the church, no joke, and they couldn't get a seat in the sanctuary and couldn't check their kids into kids church, right? So luckily we did have some cool things going on outside so we could try to take care of them. But that is a big problem to have, but it's the right type of problem to have, right? Okay, so before I finish the end of the story and kind of walk you through the 4-step process here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're putting out brand new videos every single day, 5 days a week. And if you hit that subscribe button and then hit that little bell icon, you'll get notified every single time we drop a new video. Okay, so we blew the doors off Easter and we more than doubled the church, so I hit my goal, which was awesome. But one of the things we wanted to see is, would this continue to work for like just an average everyday Sunday? I knew that it would work for Easter and it would work for big events, but would it work for, this Sunday? So we continued running ads and we continued running Plan Your Visit, and I was shocked. Every single week we had 5, 6, 7 families who were signing up for Plan Your Visit. Katie was calling them, assigning hosts, and the church was growing. So Easter was in April. Well, the very next month in May, we increased our first-time visitors in May by 42%, in June by 60%, in July by 87%, and in August by 113%. So we literally grew our church over the summer using this simple 4-step strategy, right? So at that point, my pastor actually came to me and said, dude, this is crazy. We need to start teaching other churches how to do this. And so then we started a church network and actually had the opportunity to start teaching this exact system to churches all over the country. And then they started seeing similar results. Okay, so here's what it looks like, right? The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna create a targeted Facebook ad that you're gonna run to every single person within driving distance of your church, right? So in most places, that's probably 10 to 15 miles. If you live in a really big city like New York, LA, Chicago, Las Vegas, then it might be 5 to 8 miles. I worked with a church one time in Manhattan that was like 1 mile, right? And then I've worked with churches in really rural areas, especially like in the Midwest, where that might be more 30 to 45 miles, right? So whatever driving distance is for you, you just want to run a simple Facebook ad inviting people to plan a visit to your church this Sunday and send it out to every single person 18 to 65 plus who lives within driving distance of your church. The next thing you want to do is you want to set up a Plan Your Visit landing page. Now on here, this should only be talking about planning your visit for this Sunday. This Plan Your Visit page should basically be the digital equivalent of a coffee shop invite, right? So if you were at a coffee shop and you met someone and you were inviting them out to church, right, you wouldn't go in depth about what your set list is this Sunday or your small groups or all the discipleship programs, right? You would just tell people kind of like the highlights. You say, oh yeah, man, we meet every Sunday at 10 o'clock, right? We're located at 71st in Aspen, and services go about 1 hour and 15 minutes, right? And then you would just talk about what an incredible church it is, how much fun people have and how you're laid back, and maybe even what to wear, right? So that's exactly what your Plan Your Visit landing page should look like. You want to have lots of pictures of smiling, happy people, right? I recommend having a welcome video from the pastor on there, right? Because every single potential visitor wants to know 2 things. Number 1, who's the pastor? And number 2, who are the people? So you can introduce them to the pastor using just a simple 60 to 90 second welcome video from the pastor. And then you can have lots of pictures of smiling, happy people, of your services, so they see what that looks like. Also like putting a couple of YouTube videos of there on the page and just having a section that says test drive a service, right? So now you have 2 or 3 recent services where they can actually watch the video and listen to you as the pastor and kind of get a feel for the DNA of your church. Now, here's a pro tip. Make sure to take worship out of those videos, right? Because while worship is great for live stream and it's great in person, whenever someone is watching a replay, they're probably just gonna skip through worship anyway. So it's best to have those videos where when they click play, it just goes straight into the message. All right, step number 3 is Plan Your Visit, right? So you wanna make sure to have at least 4 or 5 Plan Your Visit buttons on the web page itself. And then once somebody signs up for Plan Your Visit, you wanna set it up so that you get a notification so you know right away. Now, you can actually do this yourself by piecing together something like a type form or some other type of form builder. But my favorite way to do this is with Text and Church, right? Incredible piece of software. Tyler Smith and all the guys over at Text and Church have really thought this through, and they have an incredible Plan a Visit solution for you in Text and Church, not to mention that it can do a ton of other things. So if you put this on your website, this is gonna help you manage manage Plan Your Visit. And then it's also going to make sure that you get notified every single time someone signs up for Plan Your Visit. It's important to call the Plan Your Visits within 15 minutes, right? So basically, the longer you wait to contact somebody, the more they start to experience rejection, wondering if you actually want them to show up or wondering if you're judging them because they haven't heard from you, right? They just trusted you with their name, email, and phone number. So it's really important to call people, leave a voicemail if they don't answer, and then shoot them a text message afterwards, right? Because basically what's gonna happen is if they like talking on the phone, they'll call you back. If they like texting, they'll text you back. And then finally, step number 4, your follow-up system. Now, again, I'm gonna give a shout out to Text in Church on this one, right? Their software is absolutely incredible. It changed everything when we started using it at our church, which was right around the same time that we started launching Plan Your Visit. You can actually create an extended automated follow-up system using their software, right? So they actually have a 6-week follow-up system. It's already built out. And as soon as you log in, all you have to do is take all of the Connect cards from Sunday and on Monday morning, plug them into your Text in Church account inside of your follow-up system, and it'll automatically kick off that 6-week follow-up system. And it's just an automated mix of text messages, emails, and personal phone calls. Really, really cool. And this way, you're making sure to continue to follow up with guests for a month and a half after they show up for the very first time. Okay, so that's it. That's the exact same 4-step strategy that I've been using at my church and that churches all over the country have been using in order to attract a steady stream of new visitors. You simply want to run a Facebook ad to a custom landing page on your website where people can plan a visit. And then after they show up on Sunday, you want to plug them into an automated follow-up system. Facebook ad, landing page, Plan Your Visit, follow-up system. If you have not done that at your church, I encourage you to start right away. It's incredible, and I think you'll be really, really happy and excited with the results. So if you want to learn a little bit more about social media and Facebook ads and how you can attract a steady stream of new visitors every single Sunday, just head on over to churchgrowthagency.com. We have a free gift for you over there and a free training video that'll walk you through exactly how to do that at your church. Hope you're having a phenomenal day, and we'll see you soon.